Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today from Mattel and the WWE, we are featuring Main Event Showdown Series 19, Randy Orton vs. CM Punk. And it includes the WWE Championship. Alright, so this figure is kind of a throwback to an older episode of Raw that debuted, I want to say September 10th, 2012. So these are older iterations of these characters. And also you have the much long gone WWE Spinner Championship on top. The figures, they're nice, but I do have my reservations about them, especially the Punk figure. I think the head sculpt, it's either the head sculpt or the paint job, but it does not resemble Punk whatsoever. It almost looks like Daniel Bryan. I don't know, it's kind of nuts. On the back, we have the stats of both superstars. Randy Orton hails from St. Louis, Missouri, and his finishing move is the RKO. He's listed as a technician. CM Punk is listed as a grappler. He comes from Chicago, Illinois, and his finishing move is the GTS. And a short little trivia fact, I actually met CM Punk a couple of times years ago. This was either in the late 90s or early 2000s. Way back then, this was a long time before the WWE. He was still working the independents, and he was actually dating my friend's sister. So it's kind of bizarre that all these years later, he's this superstar. But great talent nonetheless. Over here in Series 19, we also have The Rock versus John Cena, which is awesome. And then a cool throwback to old school fans. We have Mean Gene and Hulk Hogan. All right, let's take this out. So I'm a big fan of the budget value priced main event figures. For one, they're reasonably priced. And two, I think you're getting some pretty decent action figures. Granted, they don't have the same articulation, detailing, or engineering as an Elite or Ultimate action figure. But at their price point, they're nice. They're fun toys, heavy emphasis on toys, specifically aimed at younger ones. But if you are a serious collector, I do think these do have a place, especially if you're not too concerned about articulation. If you just want some sort of physical representation of your favorite wrestlers, these cheaper value-priced figures, I think, are great value. All right, included with both figures is the Spinner Championship, and it does spin, but mine's a little bit kind of, I don't want to say stuck, it just doesn't spin as freely as I'd like. Well designed, beautifully detailed, nice shade of gold and silver. I like this a lot. Alright, so we have the Legend Killer Randy Orton over here. And then we have the Second City Saint, or Second City Savior, CM Punk. Again, I am not fond of this head sculpt whatsoever. It really looks like Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson. I'm not sure if it's the paint application or what, but yeah, this does not look like CM Punk whatsoever. But otherwise, it's pretty well detailed. He has all the tats. He has his pink gear, which is kind of an homage to Bret the Hitman Hart, especially with the design on the sides. And of course, he has the Chicago Stars. Randy Orton, this is a much younger version of Randy. He doesn't have all the tattoo work like he does nowadays. But it's a nice figure. If you want a much more somewhat vintage version of Randy, this is a nice addition to your collection. Alright, so with these being belonging to the basic main event series, these do feature the updated bodies for 2024 with the new articulated hips. We'll use Randy to demonstrate. So his head swivels. He has articulation in the arms. Bendable elbows, which also swivel. His arms articulated, as well as his wrists are articulated. They swivel, and then they also allow them to bend near the palms. He does feature a waist cut, allowing for swivel movement, which is very tight on my figure. And he has the updated hip articulation, where the hips could kick up and outward, and then the knees bend. And as usual, they're very, very tight and very, very stiff. And there is a boot cut sans ankle articulation. Unfortunately, that does not have ankle articulation on this figure, just a boot cut. So you're just getting a swivel. And I believe Punk is the same. Scale-wise, these figures stand in at about 6 3/4 for Punk. And I believe Randy should be taller. Randy's almost 7 inches. So they're getting the heights, about right. Randy's a much taller wrestler, I think. For a size comparison, here it is next to a Marvel Legends X-Men Vulcan figure, McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman. Yeah, so overall, I think it's a great value. If you have little ones, it's a great set to get, because not only are you getting 2 top-tier wrestlers, you're also getting a championship title. Again, my only big complaint is that the CM Punk figure, the head sculpt could be done a lot better. This looks horrendous. Maybe it's the paint application, I don't know. But it doesn't read as CM Punk whatsoever. Maybe if it was painted better, but I think it might be his facial expression, with him gritting his teeth like that. It just doesn't work well. And I don't remember his beard being as thick like this. There was the era when he was part of the Straight Edge Society, and he was kind of like that cult-like figure with the long beard. But this iteration of Punk, I don't remember him looking like this whatsoever. With the face, it just seems off. He does have the piercings though. But again, if you want a nice vintage Orton from the early 2000s or the early 2010s, this is a nice one to have. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.